What's going on, TBV fam? It's Aaron Cantu here with Cantu's Corner, where we talk about upcoming fights and the hottest topics in the world of boxing. Today we're going to look at 135-pound unification title fight between WBC champion Mikey Garcia, 38-0, and IBF world champion Robert Easter Jr., 21-0.
It's the champ! Cantu! Where'd you find this?
Mikey Garcia versus Robert Easter Jr. is definitely one of the most intriguing fights of the year, and is actually the second unification fight at lightweight in 2018. Both champions are undefeated and have relatively high knockout ratios. Mikey Garcia is dropping down to 135 after claiming a belt at 140 by defeating IBF champion Sergey Lipinets back in March. Robert Easter Jr. comes into this fight after winning a split decision over Javier Fortuna on the undercard of Errol Spence versus Lamont Peterson back in January. Easter won the IBF belt at 135 pounds after defeating Richard Comey back in September of 2016, and he has successfully defended it 3 times since then. And now let's take a look at the keys to the fight. For Mikey Garcia, it is very important for him to jab his way in. Use that jab. Snap it out there in order to close distance against Robert Easter, the taller, rangier fighter. Number 2, Mikey needs to pressure Robert Easter. Easter looked very uncomfortable when getting pressured by Javier Fortuna in his last fight. Bigger man means bigger target. And lastly, Garcia just needs to trust his fundamentals. Trust your brother Robert Garcia in the fight. Use what got you there. Garcia is very good at staying balanced in position to land. He doesn't overcommit, he doesn't lunge on punches. So if he stays fundamentally sound, that will be key in his success in this fight. For Robert Easter Jr., it's very important for him to control distance. Don't be afraid to fight on the back foot early in the fight. Use that jab and throw that right hand as Mikey's coming in. He's working with a new trainer, Kevin Cunningham, so we'll see if that actually benefits him in this fight. The ability to control distance is key. Number 2, Easter needs to stay active in this fight. Mikey Garcia has beaten a number of his opponents by simply outworking them. If Easter finds himself in a position where he's not throwing a lot of punches or goes long stretches without any activity, that would actually work against him in this fight, especially against a fighter like Mikey Garcia. And number 3, I would advise Robert Easter to keep his guard up as much as possible, especially when working on the inside. Don't leave yourself open to that right hand that Mikey Garcia loves to throw, especially that jab. Basically, keep your guard up, use those long arms, those big hands to parry shots and nullify some of the openings that Mikey Garcia is able to exploit. And now to the prediction of the fight. Mikey Garcia has been with his brother since the start of his career. He's trained with him, he knows him like the back of his hand. I think that's going to play a key element in this fight, considering Robert Easter has gotten with a new trainer, Kevin Cunningham, who has really done a great job with fighters in the past. And Easter even said himself he wants to get out of his comfort zone for this fight. That's why he went to train with Kevin Cunningham. But in a sense, it can work against him, being that Kevin Cunningham is working with Easter for the first time. They might not necessarily know how to react to certain situations because it's their first fight together. I think it's going to be a close fight early. I think it's going to be interesting to see how Mikey is going to deal with Easter's size. If he's able to cut distance against Easter, it's going to be interesting to see how Easter uses his jab and his range in this fight. And when those moments of exchanges occur, I am interested to see how Easter is going to be able to hold up to the power that Garcia has. I think Easter is competitive. I think he wins a few rounds, but overall, Mikey is just too smart. I've seen Mikey spar live. He literally does everything right. He knows how to jab. He knows how to fight off the back foot, off the ropes. He knows how to set traps. He is a specialist in that ring. But I give the edge to Mikey Garcia in a 12-round decision. I think he wins relatively comfortably just because of the IQ, the fundamentals, and that surprising power. Well, that's all we have for CANTU'S Corner. Make sure to tune in to Showtime this weekend, Saturday, July 28th at Staples Center. Mikey Garcia is going to unify against Robert Easter. Make sure to tune in. For the Boxing Voice, I'm Aaron Cantu. Stay Cantuned.